Okay, if question 2 was a bit nasty, question 3, the first part, is even nastier. For just 1 mark, I've got to decide which of these shows the above information. The front legs of a giraffe are always longer than the back legs. I think it's quite a nice idea to look at. When are they the same? If we put a line on there when they're actually the same, we'll be okay. Let's start with the first one. They're the same if both of them are 0, and they're the same if both of them are 3 meters long. And actually, obviously, all the ones up here, all the ones with this diagonal line, they are the same. Oh, well, I've done it already, because this one here, for example, that one, the length of the front legs are longer than the length of the back legs. So this will be the case. So the answer is diagram A. I've got it. I've been lucky. I've got it straight away, immediately. You can see why it isn't the case here. If I do the same thing here and draw the line up here, this one here, if it was there, and a bit underneath it there, then the legs will be the same. But this one here has got legs, front legs are this size. If it was here, both front and back would be the same, but it's not. It's a little bit higher. The back legs are a bit bigger. And actually these ones here, the back legs are even longer. It is diagram A, but 1 mark, you don't want to get too upset if you can't get something like that. It's a bit of a strange question. Let's see what happens over here. Table summarize the time that they slept during 24 hours. Write down the modal class interval for the time a giraffe in this herd slept. Well, that's the most common. 12 of them slept between 60. It's less than T, which is less than 80. Well, that's much easier. I've also got to work out an estimate of the mean. Well, I know the mean is the total divided by how many numbers are. And what have we got? So I've got 1 between 0 and 20. Well, I can't add that up as such, so I need to take the midpoint. And this is why it's an estimate. It's because I'm assuming that all of those ones are 10. And the ones between 20 and 40, I'm assuming they're all 30. The next one's be 50, next one's be 70. Just keep on checking that it is right. Between 80 and 100, the midpoint is 90, and then 100 to 120 is 110. Right, so I've got 110. I've got 4 30s, and I need to add them up. So I've got 110, I've got 4 30s, so 30, 30, 30, 30. You can see what you're doing here. That's going to make me myself the fx column. The frequency times the value. 1 times 10 is 10, 4 30s is 120. That'll be 500, that'll be 840, 3 90s are 270, 2 110s are 220. And then I have to add up all these. I add up my 10, I add up my 4 30s, that's my 120. So basically I'm adding up these. But using these bits really helps to see what's going on. If I add up all those, I get 1960. And so I've now worked out the total. And all I have to do now is divide by how many there are. There's 1 here, and then another 4 here. That's the 1 there and the 4 there. So I need to add up the total of the giraffes, total frequency, which is 32. So I do 1960 divided by 32, and that gives me 61.25. And then I have to just check, does it look reasonable? Yes, somewhere just up into that group, 12 in there. That does look reasonable. It says it's known that none of these giraffes slept for less than 15 minutes. So what effect will it have on the modal class? Well, absolutely none. The modal class will still be this one here. There's still 12 in there. What effect will it have on the mean? Well, if none of them slept less than 15 minutes, I took this as the midpoint as 10 to work out the total of that thing, that 1 times 10 to get 10. But if it's 15, I'm going to have to increase that. So that would be 15. Well, it might be a little bit more than that. That bit total will go up, and therefore the mean will go up a little bit. Okay, that's 61.25, by the way. And the mean, therefore, will be increased by a bit. I'll write that down again so you can read it clearly. 61.25 minutes. And just because it's an estimate, it doesn't mean we round that necessarily. What it actually means is that we're having to take the midpoint of this because we don't know exactly where those values are. Anyhow, that is question 3 done.